Planning works for all days in the life for spiritual growth. From the time of Adam, the first man, to the present days when the Mashiach comes, improvement of each individually and change of the world as a whole depends on the correction of human basis, or TIKUN HAYESOD. Tradition calls male sexual energy together with genitals the human basis, or Hayesod, as sexual desire is the main driving force of each person. After the expelling from paradise, sexual energy is not controlled by the divine soul and the mind of man. All the commandments teach a person, instead of the fruits of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, eat the fruits of the tree of life. Therefore, the Torah teaches how to correct and improve the human basis, TIKUN HAYESOD, to enjoy the control of sexual energy. The purpose of fulfilling the commandments is the correction of human basis, TIKUN HAYESOD. Circumcision of the foreskin on the 8th day of birth. Training 6 days a week and resting on the 7th day, Shabbat. Observing rules of kashrut in food. A pilgrimage on foot to Jerusalem 3 times a year, the works of the divine service and Kohanim in the temple in Jerusalem, the faith in the arrival of Mashiach, the teacher who will teach the whole world to do spiritual work to correct the human basis, TIKUN HAYESOD. Detailed plan for every day, week, month, year was developed to correct the human basis, TIKUN HAYESOD. Daily actions plan is described in the Jewish prayer book in Morning Blessings BIRKOT ASHAKHAR. It says what to do stage by stage, from awakening to the return of spiritual control over the body. Completing these stages drives away the darkness, impurity of the body, and allows the light of the soul to fill the body. In the morning, immediately after waking up from sleep, one has to netilat yadayim, to shake off the impurity of tumah and return spiritual control over the hands. At night while sleeping, the way keys protective energy, which flows over the skin and over the tendons and muscles during the day, goes deep into the body to protect and warm internal organs during sleep. Therefore, when sleeping, even in summer, people need to cover themselves, at least with a light blanket. The tips of the fingers and toes are the entry and exit points of the energy meridians. The tips of the fingers and the toes remain without the control of white ki, protective energy during sleep. Therefore, the tips of the fingers and toes accept the impurity of tumah while sleeping. After waking up, one is to pour water and energy, which is also called water, on the tips of the fingers. Therefore, this is not called washing hands, but raising hands to netilat yadayim. Literally, take hands in hands and take control of hands. The act of netilat yadayim is washing hands with water and simultaneously stretching of the tendons of the hands to enhance blood circulation in the fingers and to activate the flow of energy in the tips of the fingers. There is an energy counterpart to each part of the body. As it is said, behind the eye there is an eye, behind a tooth there is a tooth, behind a hand there is a hand, behind a leg there is a leg. Exodus 21:24. It means that behind every material eye is a hidden spiritual eye, third eye. Behind a material hand is a hidden spiritual hand, etc. Blessed are you, Lord, our God, King of the universe, who sanctified us with his commandments and commanded to upraise up the hands of netilat yadayim. The purpose of the netilat yadayim action is to return the spiritual control over the material hands, which was lost over the night. Blessed are you, Lord, who returns divine soul to lifeless bodies. During sleep, the divine soul, neshama, rises up and goes almost out of the body. The divine soul, neshama, is the breath of neshima, conscious breathing during the time when consciousness and reason are awake. After waking up from sleep, returns the awareness that the ability to breathe is back, and this is called the return of the divine soul. As it is written, the Lord God breathed the soul of life into the nostrils of man. Genesis 2:7. Only after the awakening of consciousness one can open eyes. The extraordinary meridians, Yang Qiao and Yin Qiao, are responsible for opening and closing the eyelids. Blessed are you, Lord, our God, King of the universe, removing sleep and numbness from my eyelids. Blessed are you, Lord, our God, King of the universe, giving the blind the ability to see. After opening the eyelids, vision returns. Blessed are you, Lord, our God, King of the universe, delivering the bound. This blessing tells us about the correct transition from the recumbent position to the sitting position. Blessed are you, Lord, our God, King of the universe, straightening the bent. This blessing tells how to properly tighten the tendons and get up from a sitting position. Blessed are you, Lord, our God, King of the universe, dressing the naked. The return of the material and spiritual clothes is the return of conscious control over Wei Qi protective energy. Blessed are you, Lord, our God, King of the universe, giving strength to the tired. This blessing tells about receiving renewed energy in the morning. Blessed are you, Lord, our God, King of the universe, who vaulted the earth with a vault over water. This is regaining conscious control over the diaphragm, or the heaven roof, which divides the upper and lower waters in the body. Blessed are you, Lord, our God, King of the universe, making the steps of a warrior strong. This is stretching the tendons of the legs and increasing the circulation of energy in the lower limbs. Blessed are you, Lord, our God, King of the universe, who did for me everything that I needed. After completing all the above stages, one receives huge power. It is important that there is no misunderstanding in the source of this power. Whatever you say in your heart, only thanks to my strength and my strong hand, I have reached all my might. Deuteronomy 8:17. It must be understood that spiritual power comes from the constantly renewed world Asya Ruhanit. Blessed are you, Lord, our God, King of the universe, who girdles Israel by strength of warrior. It is necessary to gird yourself with a special silk belt, a sash. The martial arts silk belt reinforces the upper body. As it is said, she girded her loins with a sash, and immediately her hands were filled with strength. Proverbs of King Shlomo, chapter 31:17. The physical belt corresponds to the energy meridian, the belt meridian Dai Mai. Blessed are you, Lord, our God, King of the universe, for not making me a slave. This is the joy of the opportunity not to be completely enslaved by the material world that dominates all us. Blessed are you, Lord, our God, King of the universe, for not making me a woman. It means that, as a rule, a man can be a warrior, and very rarely a woman can be a warrior. As it is said, lucky is one who finds a woman who possesses martial arts. What she can give is dearer than pearls. Proverbs of King Shlomo, chapter 31. It is very rare to find a woman who practices the martial arts. A woman who pronounces this blessing without mentioning the name of the Lord, blessed for making me his desire. That is, woman must be flexible in bed with her husband while satisfying his basic desire. Goy, not Israelite, and Israel. The Torah, teachings of Moshe Rabbeinu, is universal and does not depend on the origin of man. The Hebrew word Israelite, Ivri, literally means pure Jing, essence of life, pure eye, holder of the third eye, from which the light of the spirit of life pours. Ivri equals Ein Bar. A similar meaning is in the name Israel. Israel equals directly with God, Yashar El. The opposite of it, Goy, derived from the word corpse, Via. Goy can be seen as a person, Enosh, without the spirit of life, who obeys his ego, animal soul, and not the divine soul. A person, Enosh, who does not see the future world during this lifetime. One who does not feel spiritually and completely depends on the passions of your body. The opposite of this is a straightforward and decent person who has tasted from the source of life. This person is called Israel, or directly with God. According to the law, belonging to the people of Israel requires presence of these three qualities: desire to do good deeds selflessly, shyness, compassion. Rambam Maimonides decides the code of laws, that those who do not have these qualities must be checked for belonging to the people of Israel. Therefore, the division into Goy and Israel is not so much by nationality, but by qualities of character and level of spirituality. Blessed are you, Lord, our God, King of the universe, for not making me unspiritual body. Since after all the stages of awakening, one is reunited with spirituality, one returns to be Israel, Yashar El, that is, directly with God, and ceases to be a spiritless corpse, Goy, from the word corpse, Via. One of the names of God is Lord of Armies, because angels are the Lord's army above in the spiritual worlds, and the people of Israel are the Lord's army below in the material world. Therefore, the way of the sons of Israel is the way of the warrior. Therefore, the word warrior, Gever, root GVR, is an abbreviation of the words G, Gomel Hasadim, desire to do good selflessly, B, Baishan, shy, R, Rahman, compassionate, merciful. The nation of Israel has three qualities: compassionate, bashful, doing good deeds, Yevamot 79. The word warrior comes from the two words lach, wet, from sweat, and ham, heated, from training. The same root is in the word bread lechem, la, wet, dough, and ham, hot, from the oven. The intersection of the roots of the warrior and the bread is not accidental. On one hand, all wars were fought for food and bread. On the other hand, the body of the warrior should be baked like bread, through the sweat and heat of 3 Sanjiao heaters. The sons of Israel in the desert had been practicing martial arts for 40 years, day by day. And thanks to this divine presence, Shekhinah descended on them, and they received clean spiritual clothes, the clothes of Adam, called a diamond or iron shirt. In memory of this spiritual clothing, the Talith shawl is put on. For further work to correct the basis, TIKUN HAYESOD, it is necessary to control the external, skin, muscles, and tendons. Wrapping in a woolen cloak, talit, dew, tal, literally meaning covered with dew, is a preparation for fulfilling the commandment. When you do breathing exercises and sweat is running down your face, then you will become a warrior and gain your nourishment energy. Genesis chapter 3:17. Wearing a talith shawl, from the word dew, recalls the clouds of dew, sweat moisture, during and after training. The talith shawl is made of wool, which is like the hair of the body. This symbolizes control over the pores of the skin and hair coat of the body. It is emphasized in Holy Scripture that Esav, the elder brother of Jacob, was famous for his strength, was born hairy, and owned this talith shawl from birth. Therefore, the blessing of Yitzhak given to Jacob says, voice, voice of Jacob, hands, hands of Esav. Genesis 27:22. The blessing contains the condition that Jacob's voice will be heard, that is, prayers will be answered, only if Jacob's hands are like Esav's, trained in martial arts. Hand tefillin, phylacteria, and the heart meridian. In the holy language, there are two words for the heart denoting different aspects, lavav and lev, which corresponds to the meridian of the wrapping the heart in Zin Bao and the heart meridian Zin. Place the words of Lord in your heart and soul, bind these words as a sign on your hand, and will shine flow between your eyes. Deuteronomy 11:18. The physical muscle of the heart in Chinese medicine is called the wrapping of heart Zin Bao, Levav Anash, and is associated with the animal soul of the human ego. The heart is an endless emptiness or vacuum located in the blood vessels. The human heart is not material, and it is said about this, "My heart is endless emptiness hollow, and non-existence that is inside me." Psalms 109:22. Upon gaining control over the ego, the wrapping of heart zinbao, the tefillin, phylacteries, is placed over the hand, in the place where the energy meridian of the heart passes. Point number 2, King Ling. Armpit, where the heart meridian begins, in Hebrew bait shahi, comes from the word, literally, to be alive. Point number 1, Jikwan, source of life on the heart meridian, has exactly the same meaning. Third eye. Blessed are you, Lord, our God, the King of the universe, placing the crown of beauty on Israel. This is the returning of the third eye. As it is said, everyone bestowed beauty, spiritual sight. Exodus 33:4. There is a winged expression in Hebrew. Divine salvation is faster than relaxing or blinking an eye. The expression hides the meaning that when you relax, the third eye opens, and tefillin, phylacteria, is mounted on the head over the place where the third eye is hidden. With the appearing of the third eye, the spiritual state appears, with a temporary return to the Garden of Eden. Do not follow the lusts of your heart, and do not follow your eyes, because of which you are seduced. Numbers 15:39. Looking through material eyes, one does not see the divine, but only aspects of the material world, which carry away and distract from the spiritual world. Looking through the third eye, one is distracted from the material world and is carried away by the spiritual world. As it is said, must see the future world in this life. Babylonian Talmud, Tractate Bרכות, page 17. The future world must be seen within this life, and it is possible after looking through the third eye. The laying of the tefillin on the head symbolizes that the presence of the third eye makes it possible to comprehend Torah. That is, to receive the blessing, bracha, one must kneel down, and the word knees has the same root, berkaim. Worshipping God is a work when the spirit is activated, and this requires correct loading and correct stretching of the tendons and their energy meridians. During kneeling and prostration, the spine bends and blood flows to the head more intensively. The tendons' tension occurs and their energy meridians are stretched. Therefore, in this position, people pray and make requests to God. Kneeling and prostration as worshiping has been preserved in the morning prayer of Shacharit on the holiest day of the year, Yom Kippur. To prostrate, Hishta Avaya, comes from the word shahi, armpit. That is, pull and open the armpit towards the ground. As it is written about the prophet Daniel, Daniel went into his house, went up to the upper floor, in which the windows were open towards Jerusalem, 3 times a day, knelt down and fell down, prayed and thanked the Lord, and so he always did. Daniel 6:12. Right stretching, tilting, swinging legs and arms, daily exercises with ancient complexes of movements. All this together reveals the hidden potential of the soul of the human. In the next video, plan for each week, 6 days of training and a break on the 7th day of Shabbat. Put likes, subscribe to our channel, and visit the site http://www.haderekeretz.co.il.